Gosh,
Usually that's a good button to
So
hit.
foggy out.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's been
now I got
cold.
this.
It's been cold today and raw.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no.
I had to go teach a class that requires a lot of equipment, like AV equipment, at lunchtime today, and you should have seen me trying to keep everything dry. It was quite the
Oh,
ordeal.
perfect time for that.
I know.
Jeez.
Quite the ordeal.
I'm going to be walking in my house in about 5 minutes, and then everyone's going to probably ask me a million questions because I haven't been home. So hopefully I won't be too distracted.
No
Crap.
problem.
Don't worry about it. I don't hear from my kids all day long. And then the second I try to go live, everybody wants to have a conversation.
Yeah,
It's amazing. Anyway, okay. It looks like, and you can confirm with me, Jessica, please, if we are actually live.
Well,
I
and
think
I should go to.
We are live, Jennifer.
We
I
are.
did it. Okay, so
Yeah.
we're live. Okay, so for the rest of you, you're going to put
I
yourselves
see
on.
it. I'm going to turn off Facebook so we don't hear it over
That's
my
right.
mic.
So that's why I need everyone else to go on mute as well.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, we're here tonight because Jessica Lewis is here. Now, here's the thing. She came into our group as a friend and she's an expert. And a lot of people are having trouble here in this fitness journey because it's not so much fitness, but it's the nutrition that's the kicker. And I know that it is for me. So I am not the person to go to. I need to go to a person. So I will go to her. And therefore, everyone who comes to me thinking they're going to get some kind of advice, you will never get advice from me because this is not my area, but it's hers. So here she is, and she agreed to come on. Jessica is very well noted, and she's got a great business. So thanks for being here, Jessica.
Thank you, Jen. Thank you
And
so much.
so this is how it's going to work for tonight. She's just going to speak to us all as a group, as a whole, and give out whatever information it is that she feels like she could share that would be like vulnerable to people or no, valuable to people. And so she's going to share that. And then we who are in the 90 days get to have her to ourselves on the Zoom. So you guys who are already on the Zoom, stay on the Zoom after she gets through this piece that she's going to offer you all something really cool. Okay. So, hey, Jessica.
Okay, cool. Well, before Jen joined us tonight, Johnny and I were talking about the old days when we were doing personal training at the Y. And we were joking about how people would come in and they'd want to work with us and they'd do the work, the way we asked them to do it, and then typically unravel all the good stuff that they do the minute they leave the gym. It's you just really can't out exercise bad nutrition. It can't be done. So tonight, when I thought about some of the things I wanted to talk about, I kind of came up with a few little game plans here. And what I thought I would talk about was, how do you figure out what your food is? You know? But I think also we should, you know, veer into the you can't out exercise bad nutrition lane as well, because that's an important thing, especially if you're really, really interested in fitness and being just your strongest, best self. So the other thing I wanted to say was, if you feel confused about what's healthy to eat, you're not alone, because there's a lot of conflicting information out there right now, including from sources we've always been told we should trust. Um, but it's impossible really to separate fads from facts these days because there's just so much conflicting information. So here's the thing: when I'm working with somebody nutritionally, and they come to me, the first thing I say is, what are your goals? Often it's about weight loss, you know, but in the end, if you improve your overall immunity and you improve your gut and your general health, then usually what happens is your weight becomes very, very stable, because I always think of it as you don't carry around excess baggage unless something is out of balance, right? And being overweight is sort of like you're carrying excess baggage. So if something is out of balance in your life, if you're not eating in a way that works well for you, everybody's healthy food is a little bit different. But if you're not eating in a way that works well for you, or if you're overstressed, or if you're not moving around at all, that's when you're going to see people carrying around extra weight, extra baggage, basically. So that's sort of the overview of what I wanted to talk about tonight. Where would you like to go with this?
Well, what do you
Mhm.
think that most
Yeah.
people struggle with?
So there's lots of dietary trends out there that are pretty, easy to Google. Keto, paleo, vegetarian, vegan, all that. But there are a few things that they should all have in common, right? No matter which direction you want to go in, there's a few things that all the sort of dietary avenues you might want to explore should all have in common. The first is they have to be composed of more whole food than anything else. That's really important. You know what? I'm going to share something. Hold on a sec. Let me put it up there first. Let me make it bigger so y'all will be able to see it. There we go. I don't know where I found this, but I found it years ago. Can you read it?
Uh, no.
If your food can go bad, then it's good for you. If your food can't go bad, then it's bad for you.
That's a really simplified way to put it. That's like something you can take home with you instantly.
Yeah. Because that's the thing. If people will come to me and they're like, I don't like vegetables. And I'd be like, well, yeah, you're going to have to kind of embrace vegetables and fruits if you want to be healthy. That's just a fact. Did you all know there's like 10,000 vitamins and minerals just in an apple?
Really?
One apple.
Oh my
I
God.
know, it's crazy. And most
Right.
of those, one apple, and most of those vitamins and minerals are located either at or near the skin,
Right.
right? That's
Yeah.
also like a little fact about whole food. So the last thing you want to do is go stripping down the apple and cooking it and mushing it and turning it into something else. You're going to lose all the vitamins. You're
I
going to
know.
have nothing. But that's the only way to make it so it won't go bad. Yeah.
Right.
If it's just a whole apple, yeah, eventually it's going to rot. So that's a good example. If your food can go bad, if it has a shelf life, then it's probably perfect for you. But if it doesn't have a shelf life, like you go into the grocery store and most of the stuff in the store, like in the middle of the store, it will never go bad. Like the whole planet will die and it'll still be on the shelf and still be fine to eat, right?
There's stuff in the middle of the store in the aisles.
Yeah. Yeah. If
I
it's in a
remember you saying that
box.
before, the perfect balance when we used to teach that. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
We used to say avoid, do the perimeters, avoid the middle section there. Yeah. So if it comes in a box or a bag, chances are it's been modified in some way that the human body just doesn't, know how to deal with. Here's another little thing. We think of ourselves as having been on the planet for a really long time, but in the arc of history, we've only been here for like a blip, you know? Like the dinosaurs, for instance, we think of them as having only been around for a little bit of time, but when they went extinct, they'd already been here for millions of years longer than people have been here. So, in reality, in the arc of history, it's only been like a second and a half since we lived in the cave, right? And our food manufacturing processes have evolved light years in that period of time. But our gut hasn't changed at all. It's exactly the same anatomy that we had when we lived in a cave. And what did we eat when we lived in a cave? We ate whole food. So when we eat things that come in a box or a bag, that's usually a sign that they've been modified in some way. That also means that we're ingesting things that just never existed before in nature until maybe even 20 years ago. And when they land in our bodies, the first thing they have to pass through is the gut before they get out to the rest of the body. The gut's like, whoa, what the heck is this? What do I do with it?
Oh my God.
And it gets so, confused and overwhelmed trying to sort
Right.
out, is this food? Is this not? Is this solid? Should I put it through the solid waste disposal or the liquid waste disposal factor? What should I do with this? Then it starts to beat up your gut, kind of like you're walking on a pavement with a bare foot and you get a callus. And then the cells that line the gut that normally look like very healthy fish scales, and they kind of move and breathe, and kind of help things move along, they start to look more like bricks on a wall, only instead of mortar between them, those are like cracks and things can sneak through. And that's what we call leaky gut. That's a really plain folks description of leaky gut. So one of the best ways to improve your gut health is to eat whole food, and improving your gut health is one of the greatest ways to control your weight and get healthier it's just as a sidebar. So that's one thing I wanted to say.
Well, the Whole Foods, can you get them at Trader Joe's? Is that a safe place to go?
I think so.
Like
Yeah,
they have a lot of bags and boxes they put their food in, if you
they
know.
do. They
I
do.
don't think it's bad.
I think probably, I hadn't planned on talking about this tonight, but I'm glad you brought it up. Um, it's a very good idea to be familiar with the Environmental Working Group. Have you all heard of that?
No.
I'm going to stop my share and let me see if I can find it on my website. Hold on a sec. The Environmental Working Group is an organization that's really committed to just all aspects of health. They're like a consumer watchdog organization. That's probably the best way to describe them.
You
And
trust them?
pardon me?
You trust them?
I do. And one thing that they do is they have something called the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15. They're like lists, and they keep getting updated on a regular basis. Have you heard of the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15?
Yes.
Okay, good. Here we go. This is what I wanted to show you. All right. I'm going to share my screen again. And I'll just keep talking. So you let me know when we're done doing the live thing and we're on to just Q&A with people. So I'll just keep going then. All right, so I'm on my website. The name of my company is Sculpt Your Life. You can see it up in the left-hand corner there. But
Now, is it Sculpt Your Life or Sculpt Your Life?
that's a good question. If you Google me, Jessica Lewis, and spell it any way you like, in Delaware, there's lots of different ways to spell Lewis. And if you Google Sculpt Your Life and spell it any way you like, always I pop up right away. But tell you the truth, 20 years ago when I went to buy the domain I wanted, the one I wanted was taken. So I had to play with the spelling. So it's Sculpt, and then the middle section of the web address is UR rather than YOUR, and then life.com. Anyway, on Sculpt Your Life, I have, a whole bunch of options here. And one of them is the resource tab, and underneath it, there's a bunch of options. And the page I'm on right now is People I Like. So these are organizations that I really like a lot. And let's see if I can pull up the Environmental Working Group here, because they are a wonderful organization. So they publish these two lists and they update them all the time. The first list is called the Dirty Dozen, and the second is called the Clean 15. And the Dirty Dozen are the 12 vegetables and fruits that you should never, ever, ever eat unless you eat them organic. You're endangering your health if you
Oh,
eat
so
them, if you're not
crazy.
eating organic. Hold on a sec. I know it's
I mean,
on
it
here.
makes it really hard, Jessica. You know what I mean?
Right. But on the other hand, though, they also publish the Clean 15. And I know they're down here. Hold on a sec. Here they are. There you go. And the Clean 15 is a list of fruits and vegetables that are so inherently clean that you're wasting your money if you go and buy them organic.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So it's good to know which foods are on, continue to cite, I guess I need to do. It's important to know which foods are on the Dirty Dozen and which are on the Clean 15 because, oh, there, look, you can download them right there. Get your free digital copy now and just download it. And you can also put an app on your phone so that whenever you go onto it, it's the current list because it does get updated a couple times a
Yeah,
year.
that's good to know. And I think if anything, like we could leave this with just that piece of information, like somewhere I would never know where to go, who to trust. But like since I know you,
Yes.
when you have so much information, that is your job to research, like at least
Yes.
then, if we were to implement just one thing from
Yes.
this valuable talk of yours, it would be now everyone has a place to go to. So like you
Yeah.
could just go to our website and just bookmark it and then check it regularly.
Yes.
Because like, a part of how we're doing this whole wellness thing together is that, for me, obviously everybody wants to look better, including myself and blah, blah, blah. But really, I understand that, you know, eating is it's like focus on the nutrients, like
Right.
get your supply of nutrients. If I don't do anything much, it might just be a clementine, but
Hmm.
at least I'm getting a clementine a day. And then like I've been trying to do like making sure I have vegetables every day, like
Yeah.
it probably not nearly as much as what I should. But
Hmm.
I do think that the whole sickness and disease thing is related back to food so much. And I know
Yeah.
you do too. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. I think the truth is we're living in a situation where even for people that are not worried about money, and actually pretty much everybody is these days, w- we're we're living with as much food scarcity as people who are like in starving countries because most of the food that's on our shelves that's being actively promoted
Hmm.
by grocery stores and advertising is not actually food. It's flying under the radar disguised as food, but it's not actually food. So even if you just go with, even if nothing you get out of tonight other than if it goes bad, then it's good for you. If it doesn't go bad, that is bad for you. And if you want to save some money, make sure you know about the Clean 15, but don't eat the Dirty Dozen unless you buy them organic. And that way you'll be able to know, where should I shop? So back to your whole Trader Joe's thing. Yes, I go to them for organic things because in general, they're cheaper than other stores for certain organic things that I will only buy organic, like spinach, for instance. Only buy organic spinach, and they have a very inexpensive bag of pre-washed spinach there. Um,
Wow.
Sweet potatoes, on the other hand, and avocados, they're always on the Clean 15. Generally, stuff that has very thick skins or grows either way up high in a tree or down deep in the ground are on the Clean 15. Just go out to your local farmer's market and buy them when they're, a buck a pound or whatever. Get the cheapest things you can find. You save a lot of money that way. So
Okay,
those are
well,
the golden
that's
nuggets.
cool. I think that we could like stop it kind of there, but like back to your thing real quick is of the skin and stuff,
Mhm.
because people are saying you should be eating the skins of everything, which I heard that with before, like a baked potato, but like
Yeah.
I don't really know about the clementine thing. And people have been saying you should be eating the skins of a clementine as though you're just like gonna bite into it like that of an apple or something. Would you do something like that?
It would have to be a really thin-skinned lemon or lime or clementine for me to actually eat the skin. And then I would slice it, almost you know, like a cucumber slice, like
Yeah,
skinny. So you're
yeah,
getting mostly fruit and just a little bit of skin. But the advantage of something like a clementine that has pith around the fruit, between the fruit and the skin, you know what I'm talking about, the white stuff?
yeah.
Yeah. So even just getting that and not getting the skin, you're still getting a lot of the advantages you would get by eating the skin because there's fiber in that and there's
That's
vitamins and minerals in that too.
but
So
the banana would be something that would be too tough to eat the skin of.
I wouldn't eat the skin with that. Yeah. You can eat the skin of a kiwi.
Yeah, you did say that.
Yeah, you could definitely eat the skin of a kiwi. If you don't like the texture of it, you could start with slicing it thin like a cucumber slice. And that
Mm.
way you're getting a lot of fruit and just a little bit of skin and you can kind of work your way up to it. But I eat them like an apple now. I think they taste like an extra fuzzy peach. But
Right.
it took a while to work up to that. But yeah, yeah. So yeah,
Um,
try to eat the whole food as much as you can. If you just can't tolerate it, don't worry about it. But oh, good Lord, don't throw away the skins of the potato. That's the best part.
yeah, you have to have that always
You
and
have to
forever.
have the skins.
Yeah.
You have
Okay,
to have the
so
skins.
we'll probably get off of here now to say keep everybody's time secure. People like their bedtime.
Yeah.
So Jessica, thank you. Now the rest of us are going to stay on to the Zoom, okay? Because some people have just a few questions here for you one-on-one if we can just look at that.
Yeah.
And for everyone else, maybe you could put the your website up in the chat and then they
Yes.
could like have that as a referral for them to go to for the
Yes.
information in which you have.
Yes.
Um, and that would be really great. And so again, just thank you so much, Jessica, for your time and your
Absolutely.
willingness to give us this great information because I know it's really helping a lot of people in ways to where like, although this is a fitness group, fitness won't really matter if you don't have the right,
It's true.
fuel to back it up. So
You
let's like
can't out exercise bad nutrition, right?
and it won't last either. And if we're all in this for longevity,
No. No.
you have to have the right stuff in your system. So even if
Yeah.
you take one little change or something like that, that would be better. And then you
Yeah.
could just be our go-to girl.
So here's the other thing I want to leave you with. There's a lot of really unhealthy, skinny people walking around.
Mhm.
Being thin isn't necessarily the sign that you're healthy. And in the end, I'd rather be healthy than bone thin. I really would.
Yeah, because that's scary. I
Yeah.
just think that kind of thing is just a
Yeah.
lack of nutrition. And where there's a huge lack of nutrition for a long period of time, I mean, it will just show up in just
Yeah.
default ways of your health and things breaking down. So we
Yeah.
don't want that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you again, and goodbye
Yeah.
to everyone else. And we will stay here on our Zoom. Let
So
me
I'm
make
just going to stay put, right?
everybody stays put. Everybody
Okay.
stays put right there in their place, okay?
Okay.
And everyone else, good night and goodbye.
Bye, Facebook Live.
That doesn't mean anything until I'm truly off, trust me.